I'm recording this one on the fly because we've had some activity with the Occupy. Um, Actually made another video which I wanted to talk about this, but it got a little bit too long, so I wanted to do this as separate. Now, this is entering crunch time here because we've had concentrated police activity and the crackdown in New York, Portland, and Oakland, and efforts to evict these people from the parks. Now, in New York, surprisingly enough, a judge has ordered that the protesters should be allowed back into Zuccotti Park and be allowed to re-erect their tents. But Mayor Bloomberg, at least the last time I saw, was defying the court order and claiming that he was never served, even though he was. Now, we're going to see how this plays out. Now, I told you before that a lot of this Occupy activity is going to actually be one that is going to be a game of wearing people down. How many times can these people be arrested before they lose heart and decide to go home? This is going to be the action and the play of the powers that be. Now, I know that there is a lot of talk still about the infiltration, the co-optation, and all this other things that relate to the Occupy movement. But one thing is for sure. The powers that be are finally recognizing that this is a thing that is going to stay unless they do something about it. So we are seeing the brutal crackdowns, and we are seeing efforts made to get these people out of there. Now, the good thing about all of this is that these people have been completely focused on the banking industry. And one needs to recognize that the banks were the ones that gave the bad mortgages. The banks are the ones that pulled these together into CDOs, CDSs, and other derivative products, sold them to investors as supposedly good things, knowing full well that they were crap, taking out insurance on them, and then when they tanked, also shorting them. Now, they made money on every fucking aspect of this, but they still went fucking broke. Okay, so what the fuck? Then they get bailed out, and now you have Bank of America and all these other groups trying to tack on fee after fee after fee in order to rape us even more. The banks caused the destruction of the economy, so they need to be held to account. At the very least, there needs to be criminal prosecution. And the fact that Occupy started out as looking at and staring in the face of Wall Street, which is the very face of the fucking banking and finance industry in this country, that is a good fucking thing as far as I'm concerned. So let us see if we have regroup, reorganization, and more people getting involved, because this is crunch time right now for Occupy. So it's my hope that it will continue, more people will get involved, and this will turn into a thing that turns into a phenomenon, and that we will actually see some change. And I must remind you also that for those who claim that these people are a bunch of smelly hippies down there and homeless people, which of course some of them are, but not by choice, that they don't have any demands. Well, they have listed many demands, one of which is to end foreclosures, one of which is to enact a Wall Street tax, a transaction tax, and there are many others. So this is not a real, what would you say, a real thing to say against them, okay, a criticism. They do have demands. They're very correct and right demands, and they're moral demands, and they are things that can be achieved. It just requires more people to be engaged and involved. So I say go Occupy, and I encourage all of you everywhere who have been evicted and have been subjected to this police brutality and the police state coming down by order from Wall Street and the bankers to go back and regroup and get stronger and get bigger. And I'll reiterate once again, make your demands known so that the average Joe who looks at this knows exactly what it is that you stand for and what it is that you want to accomplish. Because we want to know, well, I already know the answer to this, but the average Joe wants to know, when will you declare victory? What is the sign of victory for you? So clearly articulate your goals. But I'm with you 100%. Go occupy. Thank you. Good day.